Listen closely. This is not a random moment. This is not coincidence. You did not arrive here by accident. I have drawn you here because your heart has been crying out to me, even when your lips were silent. I have seen the long nights. I have heard the prayers you repeated when nothing seemed to change. I have counted every tear that fell when hope felt heavy and answers felt far away. And now I speak to you clearly. Your faithful prayers have stirred heaven. There were moments you wondered if your words were reaching beyond the ceiling. Moments when silence felt louder than faith. Moments when you asked yourself whether it was worth praying again when yesterday looked the same as today. But I tell you now, nothing you lifted to me was wasted. Every prayer carried weight. Every whisper moved something in the unseen. Even when you prayed with trembling faith, I received it fully. Do not judge what I am doing by what you see right now. You are looking at the surface, but I am working at the root. While you were waiting, I was aligning. While you were trusting, I was rearranging. While you were holding on by a thread, I was preparing a breakthrough that could not be stopped once released. Heaven has been attentive to your persistence. There is a reason the opposition increased when you decided not to quit praying. There is a reason discouragement tried to silence you. There is a reason weariness came in waves. The enemy recognized what you could not see yet, that your prayers were building momentum, that each time you came to me instead of giving up, something shifted further in your favor. I know you felt weak. I know you felt unsure, but faith is not measured by volume or perfection. Faith is measured by return. You came back again. You prayed again. You trusted again. And that is why heaven responded. If this truth is speaking to your spirit right now, type yes. I want you to understand this clearly. I am not moved by empty words, but I am deeply moved by a faithful heart. When you prayed while tired, when you prayed while confused, when you prayed without knowing how I would answer, that faith released authority in the spiritual realm. Things began to shift. Long before you felt it emotionally, you thought you were repeating the same prayer. I saw consistency. You thought you were barely holding on. I saw endurance. You thought nothing was changing. I was dismantling barriers you didn't even know existed. Do not mistake delay for denial. Timing matters. If I moved too early, what I was freeing you from would try to return. If I answered before everything was aligned, the breakthrough would not last. But now, the pressure you feel is not loss. It is release. What has been building is about to move. I see the areas where you feel trapped. I see the cycle you want broken. I see the fear you fight quietly. I see the concern you carry for your family, your future, your provision. I see the questions you never ask out loud. And I want you to know this. I am involved in every detail. What you are walking through right now is not meant to destroy you. It is positioning you. What feels like resistance is actually preparation. What feels like stretching is strengthening. I am teaching you to trust my voice over your circumstances. If you receive this, comment, Amen. I am calling you higher, not just to receive answers, but to understand who I am in the waiting. Prayer was never meant to exhaust you. It was meant to anchor you. When you come to me, you are not begging for attention. You are aligning with truth. You are stepping into a place where peace replaces panic and clarity replaces fear. You are closer than you think. The door you have been praying for is already unlocked. The chains you thought were permanent are already weakening. The breakthrough you have been asking me for is not hypothetical. It is in motion. But hear me clearly. Do not stop now. Do not pull back because it feels quiet. Do not assume silence means nothing is happening. The greatest shifts often happen in moments that feel still. Stay faithful, stay connected, stay expectant. I am strengthening your discernment. I am sharpening your spirit. I am teaching you to hear me more clearly than ever before. This next season will require confidence, not fear. Obedience, not hesitation. Trust, not control. If you are ready to trust me fully, type I trust you. I am not only answering your prayers, I am preparing you to carry what you ask for. Some blessings require maturity. Some doors require wisdom. Some answers require transformation. And I am faithful to complete what I started in you. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. You are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be for what is coming next. What you endured was not punishment. It was refinement. What you survived was not random. It was purposeful. Hold on to this truth as you move forward. Your prayers did not disappear. They accumulated. And now, heaven is responding. Before I continue revealing what is coming and how to walk in it, I ask you to do this. If these words have brought peace, clarity, or hope into your heart, like this message, subscribe to stay connected and share it with someone who needs encouragement today. And if you feel led to help this ministry reach more lives, support God's work through the link given below. Do it with joy, not pressure, knowing every seed planted brings life to others. Stay with me. Do not leave early. What I am about to reveal next will help you apply this faith to your daily life and step confidently into what I have prepared for you. Your prayers have stirred heaven, and this is only the beginning. Stay with me. Do not drift away in this moment. What I am revealing now is meant to steady your heart and sharpen your understanding. You have prayed for answers, but I am also teaching you how faith truly works when nothing looks different yet. This is where many grow weary, but this is also where those who endure begin to see transformation. You have been asking me why it feels quiet, why the signs are subtle, why the breakthrough has not yet appeared the way you imagined. And I answer you with truth. Faith is most powerful when it operates without confirmation. When you trust me without proof, heaven responds with authority. I see how you scan your circumstances for evidence. I see how you replay conversations, situations, and outcomes in your mind, searching for reassurance. But reassurance is not found in what you see. It is found in who you trust. I am not asking you to deny reality. I am asking you to believe that reality is not finished forming yet. What you are walking through now is a test of alignment. Are you aligned with fear or with faith? Are you interpreting delay through anxiety or through trust? Because the way you interpret this season will determine how you walk into the next one. You have learned how to pray. Now I am teaching you how to stand. Faith does not mean you never feel doubt. Faith means you refuse to let doubt lead. Faith means you choose my word over your worry. Faith means you keep moving forward even when the path is unclear. This is not weakness. This is courage, refined by trust. I know you have been tempted to pull back emotionally, to guard your heart by lowering your expectations, to pray less intensely so disappointment will not hurt as much. But hear me clearly. Do not shrink your faith to protect yourself. I am your protector. Your faith does not make you vulnerable. Fear does. What you water grows. When you water fear with attention, it multiplies. When you water faith with obedience, it produces life. I am calling you to be intentional about what you feed in this season. Guard your thoughts. Guard your words. Guard what you agree with internally. There are battles you are not meant to fight directly. There are outcomes you are not meant to control. Your role is not to force results. Your role is to remain connected to me. When you stay connected, I handle what you cannot. You have wondered if your faith is strong enough. Let me answer that. Faith is not about strength. It is about surrender. When you bring me your uncertainty and still choose to trust me, that faith moves heaven. When you admit you do not understand but still obey, that faith carries weight. I am shaping your character while I shape your future. I am preparing you to steward what you ask for responsibly. Some blessings require depth. Some answers require wisdom. Some doors require discernment. And I am building those things in you now. Do not rush this process. Rushing will only take you back to places you already outgrew. This season is teaching you patience, clarity, and spiritual authority. What you are learning now will sustain you later. I see the pressure you feel to figure it out. I see the internal debate between trusting me and trying to manage everything yourself. But control will exhaust you. Trust will carry you. Let go of the need to understand every step. I am guiding you even when the path feels unfamiliar. What is unfolding is bigger than one answer to one prayer. I am aligning multiple areas of your life simultaneously. When the breakthrough comes, it will make sense why it could not arrive sooner. You will see how every delay protected you from something you were not meant to face. I am not distant. I am deliberate. You may feel unseen by people. You may feel misunderstood. You may feel as though your faith is private and unnoticed. But heaven sees everything. The quiet choices you make matter. The obedience no one applauds matters. The faith you practice when no one is watching matters. You are learning how to walk by faith and not by sight. This is not easy, but it is powerful. When you stop demanding signs and start trusting my presence, peace will begin to replace pressure. There are things I am asking you to release. Old expectations, old timelines, old assumptions about how I must work. Make room for me to surprise you. My ways are higher, but they are also kinder than you imagine. I am not withholding good from you. I am protecting what I am about to release. And when it comes, it will come with clarity, stability, and peace. Remain steady. Remain prayerful. Remain open. What you cannot see is already forming. What you have been believing for is closer than it feels. Do not let temporary silence convince you of permanent loss. Before I continue, I want you to anchor this truth in your heart. Faith is working even when feelings fluctuate. Trust does not disappear because emotions shift. Return to me when you feel uncertain. Let me recalibrate your perspective. Stay present. Do not rush past this moment. What I am speaking now is meant to reshape how you see your struggle. You have been asking me why the pressure increased just when you chose to believe again. Why resistance showed up when you committed to prayer. Why things felt heavier instead of easier. And I answer you with truth. Pressure does not mean punishment. It means preparation. I have been watching how you carry what you do not talk about. The silent battles, the private worries, the questions you replay when no one else is around. You thought these things were weakening you. I tell you now, they are strengthening discernment inside you. They are teaching you how to lean on me instead of leaning on certainty. There are layers being removed from your life that you did not know were weighing you down. Old expectations, old habits, old thought patterns that no longer serve where I am taking you. The discomfort you feel is not loss. It is release. You are shedding what cannot go with you into the next season. You asked me for growth, but growth stretches. You asked me for clarity, but clarity often comes after confusion. You asked me for peace, but peace is learned in the middle of storms, not the absence of them. What you are experiencing now is alignment. I am bringing your heart, your mind, and your faith into agreement. Do not compare this season to anyone else's. Their timing is not your timing. Their assignment is not your assignment. I work uniquely with each heart. What I am doing in you requires depth, not speed. What I am building in you will last, not impress. You have felt misunderstood. You have felt alone even among people. That loneliness has been an invitation, not a rejection. I have been drawing you closer so you learn to hear my voice more clearly than the noise around you. When distractions fall away, revelation increases. I know you have questioned yourself, questioned your decisions, questioned whether you heard me correctly. But doubt does not cancel calling. Confusion does not erase purpose. Feeling unsure does not mean you are off course. It means you are learning to walk by trust instead of sight. There are things happening beneath the surface that cannot yet be explained with words. Connections being prepared, doors being positioned, answers being timed. I am working across areas you cannot see, coordinating outcomes that will converge at the right moment. What feels delayed is actually being synchronized. You thought you needed answers immediately. I knew you needed strength first, because answers without strength would overwhelm you. But strength will help you steward what is coming with wisdom and humility. I see how you keep showing up, even when tired, even when discouraged, even when faith feels quiet. That consistency is not unnoticed. Heaven responds to endurance. Heaven responds to obedience done without applause. Do not let temporary emotions define eternal truth. Feelings shift, but my word remains. You are not failing because you feel weary. You are human. Bring that weariness to me instead of carrying it alone. I will exchange it for rest when you allow me to. What you are facing now will make sense later. The lessons you are learning will protect you later. The patience being developed will sustain you later. Nothing in this season is wasted. Every moment is shaping you for what is ahead. I want you to stop speaking against yourself. Stop agreeing with fear. Stop rehearsing worst-case scenarios. Your words carry weight. Speak life even when your emotions lag behind. Align your speech with truth, not anxiety. You are not behind. You are not late. You are not missing out. You are being guided. When I close certain doors, it is not to disappoint you. It is to protect you. When things do not work out the way you planned, it is because I am preventing outcomes that would have harmed you long term. Trust my redirection. I see what you cannot. I am teaching you to respond instead of react, to listen instead of rush, to trust instead of control. These are not small lessons. They will determine how peacefully you walk through future blessings. You are becoming more aware, more grounded, more spiritually alert. This is what maturity feels like. It is quieter than excitement, but stronger than emotion. Do not despise this stage. It is equipping you. You have been carrying the weight of responsibility heavily. Remember this. You are not responsible for outcomes. You are responsible for obedience. Release the pressure to make everything happen. Let me handle what belongs to me. When fear tries to convince you that nothing is changing, remind yourself of this truth. Movement does not always make noise. Roots grow silently before trees bear fruit. What is taking place now is foundational. I am asking you to stay steady, not perfect, steady. Stay connected, stay prayerful, stay honest with me. Bring me your questions without shame. I am not threatened by your honesty. I welcome it. Hear this clearly, my child. You are being positioned, not punished, strengthened, not sidelined, prepared, not delayed. Be still for a moment and listen. Not with your ears alone, but with your spirit. There has been so much noise around you lately. Opinions, expectations, pressures, voices pulling you in different directions. Some are loud and external. Others are quiet but constant, speaking through fear, memory, and uncertainty. And in the middle of all of this, I am teaching you something sacred, how to recognize my voice above every other voice. You have been asking me for direction. You have been asking me what step to take next. You have been asking me which path is right, and I tell you this gently. Before I change your situation, I am refining your listening. Because where I am taking you will require discernment more than speed. It will require clarity more than certainty. I know there were times you acted quickly in the past, times you moved because you felt pressure, times you decided because you were afraid of missing out. I am slowing you now, not to frustrate you, but to protect you. I am training you to pause, to wait, to sense my peace before you move. My peace is your confirmation. You are learning that not every opportunity is an assignment. Not every open door is meant for you. Not every urgent voice deserves your attention. And this discernment is growing inside you because you have stayed connected to me. You wondered why distractions increased when you committed to prayer, why your mind felt louder when you tried to rest, why clarity seemed harder to reach instead of easier. but this is part of the process. When your spirit becomes more sensitive, noise becomes more noticeable. And now, you are learning what to ignore. I am not speaking to you in panic. I am not speaking to you in fear. I am not rushing you. My voice carries peace, even when it challenges you. My direction brings clarity, even when it requires courage. Learn this difference, and you will not be easily misled. There are moments when silence itself is guidance. When I ask you to wait, it is because waiting will reveal what rushing would hide. Trust the stillness. Trust the pause. I am not absent in quiet moments. I am present in them. I see how you sometimes second-guess yourself, how you replay decisions, wondering if you heard me correctly. That does not mean you are failing. It means you care about walking rightly. Bring those questions to me instead of letting them spiral inside you. I will steady your heart. I am sharpening your spiritual awareness. You are becoming more attentive to what drains you and what strengthens you, more aware of what aligns with truth and what pulls you into anxiety. This awareness is a gift. Guard it. Do not feel guilty for needing space. Do not feel weak for stepping back. There are seasons when separation is necessary for clarity. I am creating margin in your life so you can hear me without interference. You do not need to chase answers. You need to remain available. When your heart is open and your posture is humble, I guide naturally. I lead gently. I confirm steadily. I am also teaching you that my guidance often unfolds step by step. I do not reveal everything at once because trust grows through obedience, not information. Take the next right step. I will meet you there with the next instruction. You are not meant to figure everything out today. You are meant to stay connected today. Tomorrow's clarity will come in tomorrow's grace. I see the decisions ahead of you. Some feel heavy, some feel risky, some feel overdue. Do not move from pressure. Move from peace. Even if peace requires waiting longer than you expected. Remember this. Confusion does not come from me. When confusion rises, return to stillness. Return to prayer. Return to truth. I will recalibrate you. I am pleased with your willingness to listen, with your desire to walk wisely, with your choice to seek my voice instead of following the crowd. This humility is preparing you for responsibility. You will soon recognize how clearly I am guiding you. What feels uncertain now will become obvious later. Trust the process of learning to hear me. Let this truth anchor you. I am closer than the noise, clearer than the fear, and gentler than the pressure. You are not alone in discernment. I am guiding you. And now, I ask for one simple response. Not many words, just agreement. If you desire to hear my voice more clearly and follow it with confidence, write, I hear you. Stay with me. Do not step away now. What I am revealing in this moment is meant to strengthen you for what is about to unfold. You have sensed it already. That subtle shift, that quiet change in atmosphere, that feeling that something is different, even if you cannot explain it yet. That is not imagination. That is alignment. You have been walking through a season where faith was required before confirmation, where obedience came before clarity, where trust had to exist without evidence. And now I tell you this. You are standing at a turning point. Not everything has changed yet, but everything is positioned to. I know you are tired. I know the waiting stretched you. I know there were days you prayed out of habit rather than hope. But even then, you did not stop. And that persistence mattered more than you realize. What you kept doing quietly has now created visible movement. This is the stage where many let go too early. They assume the hardest part is behind them and relax their focus. But I am asking you to stay alert, not anxious, but aware. What you do next matters. How you respond now will shape how smoothly you step into what I am releasing. I am not calling you to strive. I am calling you to stay connected. You may notice old thoughts trying to return, old fears whispering that nothing will really change, old patterns inviting you back into doubt. Do not agree with those voices. They are not signals of failure. They are signs that progress is real. Resistance always rises before release. I am strengthening your discernment so you do not sabotage what you prayed for by returning to old habits. Guard your peace. Guard your focus. Guard your words. Speak with expectation, not hesitation. What is coming will require responsibility. You asked me for growth, and growth requires maturity. You asked me for increase, and increase requires stewardship. I am equipping you now so you do not just receive the blessing, but sustain it. There are conversations ahead that will matter, decisions that will shape direction, opportunities that will test discernment. Remember what I have taught you in this season. Move with wisdom. Choose peace over pressure. Choose truth over convenience. You are no longer who you were when you first prayed for this. And that is intentional. I had to shape you before I shifted things around you. The person you are becoming can now handle what is about to open. Do not underestimate the progress you have made internally. Strength is not always loud. Growth is not always visible. But it is real, and it is working in your favor. You will soon notice doors opening naturally, not forced, not stressful, not confusing. They will come with clarity and peace. That is how you will know they are from me. If something requires you to compromise your integrity, it is not from me. If something steals your peace, it is not from me. If something pulls you back into fear, it is not from me. Trust the discernment I have placed within you. I am not rushing you. I am guiding you. Stay close. You have been faithful in private. Now you will see fruit publicly, not for pride, but for testimony. What I am about to do in your life will encourage others who are still waiting. Your endurance will become evidence. This is not the end of your journey. This is the beginning of a new chapter, one marked by clarity, stability, and purpose. You are stepping out of survival mode and into alignment. Hold this truth firmly, my child. The season that tested you is ending, and the season that will bless you is beginning. Now, because this is a turning point, I want you to stay all the way through this message series. Do not leave early. Each part is building on the next, so you can apply these truths practically in your daily life, not just feel encouraged for a moment. Let this work deeply in you. If these words are strengthening your faith, take a moment to like this message, subscribe so you don't miss what comes next, and share it with someone who needs hope right now. And if you feel led to help this ministry reach more hearts, support God's work through the link given below. Knowing your support helps carry this message further. Now, one simple response, short and clear. If you believe this is your turning point, type, I believe. Stay attentive. What I am speaking now is instruction, not just encouragement. Many pray for change, but few are prepared to walk wisely once change begins. I am not only opening doors, I am teaching you how to move through them with peace, humility, and confidence. You have learned how to wait. Now you are learning how to walk. When answers begin to appear, the temptation is to rush, to move quickly out of relief, to overcorrect because the season was hard. But I am guiding you into a pace that sustains blessing instead of exhausting it. Speed is not always strength. Wisdom is. I see how your heart lifts when you sense movement. I also see how uncertainty tries to creep in, asking whether this progress will last. Let me anchor you here. What I establish does not collapse. What I open does not require you to force it. Open further. What I give does not need you to defend it with fear. You are learning to live from trust instead of tension. As things begin to shift, I want you to stay rooted. Keep prayer central. Keep humility close. Keep gratitude active. These will steady you when circumstances improve and keep your heart soft when success arrives. I am also teaching you boundaries. Not every request deserves your yes. Not every demand deserves your energy. Discernment will protect your peace. Choose alignment over approval. You will notice that some people respond differently to you as you grow. Some will celebrate, some will question, some will distance themselves. Do not let this confuse you. Growth always reveals relationships. Remain kind, but remain grounded. I am shaping your character to match your calling. Integrity will matter more than image. Faithfulness will matter more than recognition. Choose what honors me, even when it costs convenience. There will be moments when you are tempted to return to old coping habits, familiar reactions, familiar thought patterns. Pause when that happens. You do not live there anymore. You have been renewed. Choose awareness over autopilot. What you are stepping into will require intentional choices, not perfection, intentionality. You will make adjustments along the way. That is part of growth. Stay teachable. Stay open. Stay prayerful. I am also asking you to steward joy responsibly. Do not feel guilty for celebrating progress. Gratitude multiplies blessing. Rejoice without fear. Trust without hesitation. There will be new responsibilities, new expectations, new opportunities. Do not be overwhelmed. You are not stepping into them alone. I go before you. I walk with you. I guide each step. When you remain attentive, remember what I taught you in the waiting. Peace is your compass. If peace leaves, pause. If clarity fades, return to me. If pressure rises, slow down. You are not required to have everything figured out at once. I am teaching you how to live aligned daily, not just pray occasionally. Invite me into your decisions. Ask before you act. Listen before you respond. This partnership will keep you steady. I want you to see how far you have come. You are not the same person you were at the beginning of this journey. You respond differently now. You think differently now. You trust differently now. This is evidence of transformation. You may not feel fully confident yet, but confidence will grow through obedience. Take the next step I place before you. I will meet you there. Hold this truth firmly, my child. Walking in blessing requires wisdom as much as faith, and I am giving you both. One simple response to seal this moment, short and sincere. If you choose to walk forward with wisdom and trust, type ready. Stay with me. What I am speaking now is protection for your progress. When movement begins, fear often tries to return. Not because you are failing, but because something real is being established. Fear does not show up where nothing matters. It shows up where growth is happening. You may notice old thoughts attempting to resurface. Questions like, what if this doesn't last? What if I lose what I've gained? What if I fail again? These thoughts are not warnings. They are echoes of a season you are leaving. Do not confuse memory with truth. You are not back at the beginning. You are standing on ground you prayed for. Fear wants you to believe that peace is fragile, that progress is temporary, that confidence is risky. But I tell you this clearly. What is built on faith is sustained by grace. You do not need to guard it with anxiety. You need to walk in it with trust. I see how careful you have become, how you hesitate before celebrating, how you brace yourself even during calm moments. That caution came from survival, but you are no longer in survival mode. You are learning to live from security, not defense. Do not let fear teach you how to think. Fear exaggerates risk and minimizes growth. Faith does the opposite. Faith reminds you of who I am and what I have already carried you through. There will always be unknowns ahead. That does not mean danger is waiting. It means trust is required. You are not meant to predict everything. You are meant to remain connected to me as you move forward. You have been tempted to replay past failures as a way to stay alert, but replaying the past does not protect the future. Wisdom comes from reflection, not rumination. Learn the lesson, then release the memory. Do not carry what I already healed. I am teaching you to recognize fear quickly so it does not settle. Fear loses power when it is identified early. When it rises, return to truth. Speak what I have promised instead of what you are afraid might happen. You are allowed to feel cautious, but you are not required to live cautious. Trust does not mean recklessness. It means confidence in my guidance. I will redirect you when needed. You do not have to anticipate every obstacle. I am also teaching you to rest in progress, not to constantly evaluate whether you are doing enough or growing fast enough. Growth is not measured daily. It is revealed over time. Stay consistent. Stay grounded. As things stabilize, you may feel uncomfortable simply receiving peace. That discomfort is not danger. It is unfamiliarity. You are adjusting to a healthier rhythm. Let yourself settle into it. I want you to stop preparing for loss and start preparing for longevity. What I am building in your life is meant to last, but longevity requires trust, not tension. You will face moments that test confidence, unexpected challenges, unclear decisions. That does not mean fear was right. It means growth continues. Face those moments with calm, not panic, with prayer, not pressure. I am with you in the calm, just as much as I was with you in the storm. Do not assume my presence is only proven through struggle. Sometimes my presence is proven through peace. You are learning how to live without constant urgency, without constant fear of what might go wrong. This is healing. Allow it. Remember this truth, my child. Fear may knock, but it does not have authority unless you open the door. Choose trust. Choose awareness. Choose truth. Before we move forward, I want one clear response. Not long, not complicated. If you choose to reject fear and trust me with what is unfolding, type, I trust. Stay here with me. What I am doing now is quiet but powerful. You may not feel dramatic changes on the outside, but inside, something important is being restored. I am rebuilding your confidence, not the kind that depends on outcomes or approval, but the kind that is rooted in truth. You have been strong for a long time, strong when you did not feel strong, steady when everything around you felt uncertain. That strength carried you through survival. But now, I am teaching you something deeper. I am teaching you how to live from assurance instead of endurance. You learned how to keep going even when confidence was low. Now I am restoring the confidence that was worn down by disappointment, delay, and self-doubt. Confidence was not taken from you all at once. It eroded slowly through unanswered questions, repeated setbacks, and moments when you questioned your own judgment. I see all of it. You stopped trusting yourself because you were afraid of being wrong again. You hesitated because you did not want to hope too much. You measured every decision carefully, sometimes too carefully. That caution protected you for a season, but it is not meant to lead you forward. I am teaching you to trust again, first, me, and then the wisdom I have placed within you. You are not as uncertain as you think. You are more discerning than before. You see patterns more clearly now. You sense alignment faster. That is growth. Do not dismiss it because it feels quiet. Confidence does not return through force. It returns through truth, through repeated experiences of being guided, protected, and sustained. Every step you have taken with me has been reinforcing trust, even when you did not notice it happening. You are learning that mistakes do not define you. They refine you. You are learning that wrong turns do not disqualify you. They educate you. And you are learning that hesitation does not mean failure. It often means you care deeply about walking rightly. I am restoring confidence by healing the places where shame tried to take root. Shame told you that you should have known better, that you should be further along, that others were ahead of you. But shame is not a teacher. It is a burden, and I am lifting it from you. You are not behind. You are not incapable. You are not lacking. You are becoming. As your confidence rebuilds, you may notice something changing. You respond differently. You pause instead of panic. You reflect instead of react. You speak with more clarity. This is not coincidence. This is alignment. I want you to stop doubting the growth you prayed for. Stop questioning whether the changes inside you are real. They are. You are not imagining your progress. You are living it. There will still be moments of uncertainty. That does not mean confidence has disappeared. Confidence does not eliminate questions. It steadies you while you seek answers. Let yourself be human without judging your faith. I am also teaching you to release comparison. Confidence weakens when you measure yourself against others. Their journey is not your standard. Their pace is not your assignment. Focus on what I am doing in you. You are allowed to take up space, to speak with clarity, to move forward without apologizing for growth. Humility does not require self-erasure. True humility is confidence anchored in truth. As confidence returns, responsibility increases. You will be trusted with more, not because you are perfect, but because you are grounded. Stay teachable. Stay connected. Confidence grows best when paired with humility. I am pleased with how you are learning to stand. Not rigid, not defensive, but steady. Remember this, my child. Confidence rooted in me cannot be shaken by circumstance. When you stay connected, even uncertainty becomes manageable. Before we continue, I ask for one simple response, short and sincere. If you receive this restoration and choose to walk forward with renewed confidence, type, I receive. Stay with me. What I am doing now is subtle, but decisive. I am not pushing you forward with pressure. I am aligning you with purpose. There is a difference. Pressure rushes. Purpose steadies. Pressure demands results. Purpose builds direction. And I am guiding you by purpose. You have lived under pressure for a long time. Pressure to make the right choice. Pressure to fix what feels broken. Pressure to prove progress, to yourself, to others, to circumstances. That weight shaped your habits, your thoughts, and even your prayers. But hear me clearly now. You are not called to live driven by pressure. You are called to live led by purpose. Purpose does not shout. It draws. It aligns. It brings coherence to areas that once felt scattered. You may notice that some things no longer fit the way they used to. Certain conversations feel draining. Certain pursuits feel empty. Certain goals no longer motivate you. This is not loss. This is clarity. I am narrowing your focus so your energy is no longer diluted. What once demanded your attention is losing its hold because it cannot carry you where you are going. Let it go without guilt. Purpose requires release. You are learning to say no without explaining yourself, to pause without apologizing, to choose depth over distraction. These are signs of alignment. When your life begins to organize around purpose, peace follows. I am also aligning your timing. In the past, you moved when urgency screamed. Now you are learning to move when peace confirms. This shift will protect you from burnout and misdirection. Timing matters as much as intention. You may feel moments of internal tension. One part of you wanting to move faster, another sensing the need to wait. That tension is not confusion, it is calibration. Let it settle. I am adjusting your pace to match your purpose. There are assignments ahead that require focus, not intensity focus. Scattered energy will not sustain what I am about to entrust to you. That is why I am simplifying your life. Reducing noise, clarifying priorities. I see how you worry about wasting time, about missing the right moment, about falling behind. But purpose is not fragile. You cannot miss what is meant for you when you remain connected to me. I guide gently, but precisely. You are not being delayed. You are being directed. I am also aligning your relationships. Some connections will strengthen. Others will naturally fade. This is not rejection. It is redirection. People are often assigned to seasons. Bless them, but do not force continuation where alignment no longer exists. You are becoming more honest with yourself. more aware of what drains you and what fuels you. That awareness is wisdom. Honor it. Do not ignore it to please others or maintain comfort. Purpose brings courage, not loud courage, but steady courage. The courage to live intentionally, to choose meaning over momentum, to trust depth over display. You will notice that decisions feel clearer when they align with purpose. Even hard decisions carry peace when they are right. Pay attention to that peace. It is guidance. I am not asking you to abandon responsibility. I am asking you to release unnecessary weight. There is a difference. Responsibility aligns with purpose. Pressure distracts from it. You are learning to live with intention, to ask better questions, to listen more deeply, to move thoughtfully. This is maturity. This is readiness. Hold this truth close, my child. A life aligned with purpose will always feel lighter than a life driven by pressure. Let me continue this work in you. Before we move forward, one simple response of agreement, short and sincere. If you choose purpose over pressure, type purpose. Stay with me. Do not skim this moment. What I am speaking now is meant to settle deep within you. You have come far, farther than you realize. The work happening inside you is not temporary motivation. It is lasting transformation. I am not fixing a moment. I am shaping a future. You once asked me for change, but you did not yet know what kind of change you needed. You thought you needed relief. I knew you needed renewal. You thought you needed answers. I knew you needed stability. That is why this process has taken time. Anything built quickly can collapse easily. What I am building in you is meant to endure. I have been strengthening your foundation, teaching you how to stand without leaning on fear, teaching you how to move without rushing, teaching you how to trust without needing constant reassurance. These are not small lessons. They will protect everything I place in your hands next. You are no longer reacting the way you used to. You pause now. You reflect now. You pray before you respond. That is growth. That is evidence of alignment. Even when you feel unsure, you are steadier than before. Do not overlook that. I know you sometimes wonder if this internal work really matters, if it will actually make a difference in your external life. Hear me clearly. What is built within you determines what can be sustained around you. Without inner stability, outer success becomes a burden. I am preventing that for you. There are things you once desired that no longer excite you. That is not loss. It is clarity. I am refining your desires so they align with purpose, not impulse. What excites you now carries meaning. What draws you now brings peace. Trust that shift. You have also learned how to let go without resentment, to release expectations without bitterness. That freedom is priceless. It means you are no longer tied to outcomes you cannot control. You are learning to live present, grounded, and open. You are becoming someone who can receive without guilt and give without depletion. That balance is rare. It is formed through patience, honesty, and trust. You have practiced all three, even when it was uncomfortable. There will be moments ahead when life speeds up, when responsibilities increase, when opportunities multiply. In those moments, remember what anchored you here. Return to stillness. Return to prayer. Return to discernment. These are not habits for hardship only. They are anchors for abundance. I am proud of how you have allowed me to shape you. You did not resist when I slowed you. You did not walk away when clarity took time. You stayed. You listened. You adjusted. That willingness matters deeply. Do not rush to label this season as over or complete. Growth continues, but now it flows differently. What once felt heavy now feels intentional. What once felt uncertain now feels guided. I am also teaching you to trust joy again, to experience peace without waiting for something to go wrong. That fear of loss once protected you, but it is no longer needed. Let joy exist without suspicion. You will still face challenges, That does not mean this work failed. It means life continues. But you will face them differently now, with clarity instead of chaos, with trust instead of panic. Remember this truth, my child. Lasting change is quiet, steady, and deeply rooted. You are not becoming someone new overnight. You are becoming someone whole over time. Now, because this is a milestone moment in this journey, I want you to stay with this entire series. Do not stop halfway. Each part builds on the last, so you can apply these truths practically in your daily life, not just feel encouraged for a moment. Let this reshape how you think, decide, and live. If these words are strengthening you, take a moment to like this message, subscribe so you stay connected, and share it with someone who needs direction right now. And if you feel led to support this ministry, so these messages can reach more hearts, use the link given below. Give with peace, knowing it helps others find hope. One short response now, simple and sincere. If you are committed to lasting growth, type standing. Stay with me. What I am unfolding now is essential for the season ahead. You have learned how to endure. You have learned how to stay faithful under pressure. But now I am teaching you something new. How to live from overflow, not exhaustion. For a long time, you gave from what you had left. You poured out while running low. You kept going even when your strength was depleted. I saw that sacrifice. I honored that faithfulness. But that way of living was never meant to be permanent. Survival shaped you for a season, but it is not meant to define your future. I am shifting you from striving to sustaining. You have noticed it already. The way your body asks for rest more clearly. The way your spirit resists unnecessary pressure. The way your heart longs for depth instead of busyness. This is not weakness. This is wisdom awakening inside you. I am teaching you that rest is not a reward for finishing everything. Rest is a requirement for doing anything well. When you rest intentionally, you trust me more deeply. When you pause without guilt, you acknowledge that I am your source, not your effort. You once believed that if you stopped, everything would fall apart. That belief came from responsibility mixed with fear. But now I am showing you a different truth. When you stop, I continue working. Your rest does not delay my plans. It creates space for clarity. I am also teaching you how to say yes without draining yourself, how to serve without losing yourself, how to love without overextending. Boundaries are not barriers. They are protections. They help you give freely without resentment. You are learning to listen to what your soul needs, not just what others expect. That awareness will keep you aligned as life grows fuller. Overflow cannot happen when everything is forced. It happens when life is ordered. You may notice that some things no longer energize you the way they once did. That is not loss of passion. It is redirection. I am guiding you toward what nourishes you, not what merely keeps you occupied. I want you to understand this clearly. Exhaustion is not a sign of obedience. Peace is. I do not measure your faith by how tired you are. I measure it by how deeply you trust me with your limits. There are rhythms I am restoring in your life. Rhythms of rest, reflection, joy, and connection. These rhythms will protect your heart when responsibilities increase. They will help you remain present instead of overwhelmed. I am also teaching you to receive without guilt, to accept help, to allow support, to acknowledge that you were never meant to carry everything alone. Strength includes knowing when to lean. You have been strong for others. Now let me be strong for you. As overflow grows, you will notice your reactions change. You respond with patience instead of irritation. You speak with clarity instead of frustration. You listen more fully. This is not effort, it is fruit. I am not asking you to slow your purpose. I am asking you to sustain it. A life lived from overflow blesses others without costing you your peace. Remember this truth, my child. You cannot pour endlessly unless you are being filled intentionally. Come to me daily, not just with requests, but with openness. Let me replenish what you give. One simple response now, short and sincere. If you choose to live from overflow and not exhaustion, type overflow. Stay here. Do not rush ahead. What I am speaking now is preparation, not warning. You have been restored, steadied, and realigned. And now I am strengthening you. Not for fear, but for purpose. Not because danger is coming, but because responsibility is increasing. You ask me for growth, and growth requires strength that is deeper than emotion. You ask me for expansion, and expansion requires capacity. I am not just blessing you, I am enlarging you, so you can carry what I am about to entrust to you without strain. There are moments ahead that will require calm leadership, moments that will require clear thinking, moments that will require you to respond with wisdom instead of reaction. I am preparing you now, so those moments do not overwhelm you later. Strength is not loud. It does not announce itself. It is built quietly through consistency, discipline, and trust. You are becoming stronger because you no longer panic when things feel uncertain. You pause, you listen, you pray. That is strength. I am also strengthening your emotional resilience. You have felt deeply in the past, sometimes carrying emotions that were not yours to hold. I am teaching you how to feel without being consumed, how to care without absorbing, how to remain compassionate without losing clarity. This balance will protect you. You are learning to process disappointment without collapsing and success without pride. You are learning to stay grounded regardless of circumstances. That steadiness is essential for what comes next. You may feel moments of stretching again, not the heavy stretch of survival, but the intentional stretch of growth. New expectations, new responsibilities, new opportunities that require courage. Do not be alarmed. Stretching means expansion is happening. I am strengthening your mind as well, teaching you to recognize false urgency, teaching you to challenge fearful thoughts, teaching you to return to truth quickly. Mental clarity will keep you from unnecessary battles. You will notice that you recover faster now, from stress, from discouragement, from setbacks. That is evidence of strength being built. You do not stay down as long because you are learning where your stability comes from. I am also strengthening your boundaries. You are becoming more comfortable saying no when needed, more confident, choosing rest without guilt, more aware of what drains you and what nourishes you. These boundaries are not walls, they are wisdom. There are assignments ahead that require discernment. Not everything will need your response. Not every issue will be yours to fix. Knowing when to engage and when to release will protect your peace. I am strengthening your faith to trust me when outcomes are still forming, to stay obedient even when results are delayed, to remain hopeful without becoming impatient. This faith will sustain you. You have been shaped through difficulty. Now that shaping becomes support. What once tested you will now steady you. What once challenged you will now guide you. Do not underestimate how prepared you are becoming. You may still feel human uncertainty, but you also carry spiritual strength. Let both exist without judgment. Remember this truth, my child. Strength built in alignment will never exhaust you. It will carry you. One simple response to anchor this moment, short and clear. If you are ready to be strengthened for what comes next, type strong. Stay with me. What I am sharing now is vital for the season you are entering. Many know how to cling to me when life is hard, but fewer know how to stay deeply connected when life begins to feel lighter. I am teaching you how to remain steady, not just in storms, but in calm. You have prayed through pressure. You have trusted me through uncertainty. And now, as stability begins to grow, I want you to understand this truth. Consistency matters more than intensity. You do not need to strive harder when things improve. You need to stay grounded. When life becomes easier, distraction often follows. Comfort can quietly pull attention away from connection. That is why I am reminding you now. Do not drift. Stay intentional. What brought you through difficulty will also sustain you in blessing. I am not asking you to live cautiously. I am asking you to live consciously. Pay attention to what fills your time, your thoughts, your heart. Guard what you have built with wisdom, not fear. You may notice that as things settle, old habits try to return, not harmful ones, just familiar ones. Routines that once numbed you, distractions that once helped you cope. Pause when that happens. You do not need them anymore. You have learned healthier rhythms. I am teaching you to enjoy peace without losing focus, to experience joy without neglecting prayer, to move forward without forgetting where your strength comes from. This balance is essential. You are also learning that faith is not seasonal. It is not only for crisis moments. Faith is daily alignment, daily awareness, daily connection. When you live this way, your foundation remains firm regardless of circumstance. I see how you sometimes wonder if things are too quiet, if something might be wrong because life feels more stable. Let me reassure you, peace is not absence, it is presence. My presence does not always announce itself with intensity. Sometimes it settles gently. You are allowed to enjoy this season. To breathe, to rest, to smile without suspicion. Do not wait for trouble to return before you appreciate what I am doing now. I am also teaching you discernment in calm seasons. When life improves, choices matter even more. You will be presented with opportunities that look good, but are not aligned. Not every good thing is a God thing. Stay attentive. You do not need to rush decisions now. You can afford to be thoughtful. I will guide you as clearly in peace as I did in pressure. Trust that there will be moments when you are tempted to coast, to rely on momentum instead of mindfulness. Gently correct that tendency. Momentum without intention eventually leads to misalignment. I am shaping you to be faithful in every season, not reactive, not complacent, faithful. That steadiness will make your life a place of refuge for others. Remember this, my child. What you maintain in peace determines what you withstand in challenge. Stay connected, stay grounded, stay grateful. One simple response to confirm your intention, short and clear. If you choose to stay steady and connected in every season, type steady. Stay with me. What I am speaking now is about expansion, quiet expansion, purposeful expansion, expansion that does not steal your rest. You once thought influence had to be loud, visible, or heavy. I am showing you a better way. I am expanding your influence while protecting your peace. Influence does not always announce itself. Often it moves through consistency, integrity, and presence, the way you listen, the way you respond, the way you carry calm into situations that used to feel tense. People are noticing more than you realize. You have wondered if what you do matters, if your faithfulness is seen, if the quiet choices you make any difference at all. Hear me clearly now. Every aligned life carries influence. Influence flows naturally when your life is rooted in truth. I am not calling you to perform. I am calling you to be present. When you live from alignment, your words carry weight without effort. Your peace becomes an invitation. Your steadiness becomes reassurance to others. You will notice people seeking your perspective more often, asking how you stay calm, wondering how you navigated seasons they are now facing. Do not feel pressure to have perfect answers. Share honestly. Speak gently. Point back to me through your example. I am also teaching you restraint. Influence grows best when paired with humility. Not every thought needs to be voiced. Not every opportunity needs to be accepted. Choose discernment over exposure, quality over quantity. There will be moments when you feel stretched socially or emotionally. More people, more requests, more expectations. Remember your boundaries. Influence does not require availability at all times. Protect your rest so your presence remains genuine. You are learning how to carry responsibility without carrying stress. This is new, and it will take practice. When pressure rises, return to stillness. When demands increase, simplify where you can. I will guide you. I am expanding your influence because you have learned how to listen, because you have chosen integrity over urgency, because you have stayed faithful in private. These foundations matter more than visibility. You may be tempted to compare your path with others who seem louder or faster. Do not do that. Their assignment is not yours. I have designed your influence to fit who you are becoming, not who you were. Your presence will open doors you never knocked on. Your consistency will build trust you never chased. Let this happen naturally. Forced growth creates strain. Aligned growth creates peace. I am also teaching you how to receive affirmation without letting it define you. Appreciation is a gift, not an identity. Stay grounded. Stay grateful. Stay connected. Remember this, my child. True influence multiplies peace, not pressure. When you feel peace leaving, pause and realign. I am not asking you to carry the weight of outcomes. I am asking you to walk in obedience. One simple response now, short and sincere. If you are willing to walk in influence with humility and peace, type available. Stay with me. This is a pivotal moment in this journey. What I am speaking now is not about emotion or momentum. It is about intention. You have learned how to endure, how to wait, how to receive, and how to grow. Now I am calling you to walk intentionally with me every day, not just in seasons of need. Intention changes how you live. It shifts you from reacting to choosing, from drifting to deciding, from hoping things work out to partnering with me in how they unfold. You are no longer surviving life. You are shaping it with wisdom. I see how far you have come. I see the habits you have released, the thoughts you no longer entertain, the peace you protect. These changes did not happen by accident. They happened because you chose alignment over convenience again and again. Now I ask you to be intentional with your time. Time is not just something you spend, it is something you steward. What you give your attention to will shape your future. Choose what nourishes your spirit. Choose what builds clarity. Choose what keeps you grounded. Be intentional with your words. Words carry direction. They reinforce belief. Speak life over yourself even when no one else is listening. Speak truth instead of fear. Speak gratitude instead of complaint. Your words shape the atmosphere you live in. Be intentional with your thoughts. Not every thought deserves agreement. Some thoughts need to be questioned. Some need to be replaced. Return to truth quickly when anxiety tries to lead. You are learning how to redirect your mind, not battle it endlessly. I am also calling you to be intentional with your relationships. Choose connection that brings growth, not constant explanation. Choose conversations that bring clarity, not confusion. You do not need many voices, just aligned ones. As you walk intentionally, you will notice something powerful. Life becomes lighter. Decisions become clearer. Peace becomes steadier. This is not because challenges disappear, but because you face them with purpose instead of panic. I am not asking you to be perfect. I am asking you to be present, to notice when you drift and gently return, to listen when I nudge, to pause when something feels misaligned. This awareness will guide you. You are stepping into a rhythm that sustains growth, a rhythm that allows joy without guilt, rest without fear, progress without pressure. Guard this rhythm. It will carry you far. Remember this truth, my child. An intentional walk with me transforms ordinary days into purposeful ones. Nothing is wasted when you live aligned. Because this is a milestone moment in this series, I encourage you, stay with this message all the way through. Do not stop halfway. Each part is designed to help you apply these truths in real life, not just feel inspired for a moment. Let this reshape how you live daily. If these words are helping you grow, take a moment to like this message, subscribe so you don't miss what's next, and share it with someone who needs direction right now. And if you feel led to help this ministry continue reaching hearts, support God's work through the link given below. Give with peace and purpose. If you choose to walk intentionally with me, type walking. Stay close. What I am revealing now will protect you from unnecessary struggle. Many stumble not because they lack faith, but because they move at the wrong time. Others miss opportunity because they wait out of fear. I am teaching you discernment, when to move and when to wait. You have grown in patience. You have learned how to pause without panic. That was necessary. But now I am adding balance. Waiting is powerful, but movement is also obedience. When I call you forward, the wisdom is knowing the difference. I see how you hesitate sometimes, replaying past mistakes, wanting to be absolutely sure before taking a step. That caution came from lessons learned, not from weakness. But do not let past uncertainty rob you of present obedience. When I say move, trust that I will guide the step after the step. Waiting is not inactivity. Waiting is alignment. But waiting too long when I have already spoken can become avoidance. Listen closely to my peace. Peace will tell you when to wait and when to act. You are learning that urgency does not equal direction. Just because something feels pressing does not mean it is purposeful. And just because something unfolds slowly does not mean it lacks power. My timing carries clarity. I am training your sensitivity. You are becoming quicker to recognize when something is from me and when it is merely attractive. This discernment will keep you from wasted effort and unnecessary detours. When I ask you to wait, it is because something is still being prepared, either around you or within you. When I ask you to move, it is because alignment has already taken place. Trust that I do not delay without reason, and I do not rush without purpose. You will notice moments when restlessness rises. That restlessness is not always impatience. Sometimes it is readiness. Bring it to me. I will show you whether it is time to prepare or time to step forward. I am also teaching you to release the fear of missing out. You do not need to chase what belongs to you. What is meant for you will remain until you are ready to receive it. Trust that, as you grow, decisions will matter more. You will not need many steps, just the right ones. Walk thoughtfully. Pause prayerfully. Act courageously when peace confirms. Remember this truth, my child. Obedience is not about speed, it is about alignment. When you move with me, even slow progress brings lasting fruit. One simple response to anchor this lesson, short and clear. If you trust me to guide your timing, type, I follow. Stay with me. What I am shaping now is not about more activity, but about deeper capacity. You are entering a season where responsibility will increase, not to burden you, but to reflect the growth that has already taken place within you. I am preparing you to carry more without losing your peace. Responsibility is not a weight when it is carried with alignment. It becomes heavy only when fear, control, or self-reliance try to take the lead. I am teaching you a different way, a way where trust steadies you and clarity guides you. You have learned to manage pressure better than before. You no longer rush to fix everything. You no longer panic when things feel unresolved. That composure is not accidental. It is preparation. The responsibilities ahead will require that calm. I see how you sometimes question whether you are ready, whether you are capable, whether you will handle things well when expectations increase. Hear me clearly now. Readiness is not the absence of uncertainty, it is the presence of trust. And you have grown in trust. You are not being asked to do everything. You are being asked to steward what is entrusted to you wisely. Stewardship requires discernment, knowing what belongs to you and what does not, knowing when to engage and when to release. I am also teaching you delegation, not just to others, but to me. You do not need to carry outcomes alone. You are responsible for obedience, not results. Release the pressure to control how everything turns out. As responsibility grows, you will need to protect your inner life even more intentionally. Stay rooted in prayer. Stay honest in reflection. Stay humble in learning. These practices will keep you grounded. You may notice moments when your time feels fuller, when demands increase, when decisions come more frequently. Do not interpret this as overwhelm. Interpret it as trust being placed in you. You have been prepared for this. I'm also strengthening your ability to remain emotionally present. Responsibility does not require emotional distance. You can care deeply without caring everything deeply. Compassion and boundaries can coexist. You are learning how to lead yourself well, to regulate your responses, to choose calm over chaos. This self-leadership will influence how others experience you. Peace is contagious. There will be moments when responsibility reveals gaps, areas where you still need growth. That is not failure, that is refinement. Remain teachable, remain open. I will supply what you need as you need it. I am not asking you to be perfect. I am asking you to be faithful. Faithfulness over time builds trust. Trust opens doors. Doors increase responsibility. This is a natural progression. Remember this truth, my child. Greater responsibility carried with peace becomes purpose fulfilled, not pressure endured. I am with you in this expansion. One simple response to anchor this moment, short and sincere. If you are willing to carry responsibility with trust and peace, type, I'm ready. Stay with me. What I am speaking now is protection for your heart. Growth brings strength, clarity, and influence. But it also brings a quiet test. I am teaching you how to remain humble as you grow stronger, steadier, and more confident. Humility is not thinking less of yourself. It is thinking truthfully about yourself while staying aware of where your strength comes from. You have grown because you listened. You have matured because you stayed teachable. Do not lose that posture now. There will be moments when you recognize how much you have changed. When you notice that situations which once overwhelmed you no longer shake you. When people come to you for guidance, when your voice carries weight, in those moments, remember this. Strength is a gift meant to serve, not a platform to stand on. I am not asking you to shrink or hide your growth. I am asking you to carry it gently. Let confidence walk alongside compassion. Let wisdom walk alongside kindness. Let clarity walk alongside patience. You may encounter people who are still where you once were, struggling with fear, wrestling with doubt, caught in cycles you have been freed from. Do not judge them. Remember the grace that carried you. Offer understanding without superiority. Humility keeps your heart open. Pride closes it. I am also teaching you how to receive correction without defensiveness. Growth does not end when strength appears. It deepens. Remain open to learning. Remain curious. Remain willing to adjust. This flexibility will keep you aligned. You will notice that humility creates safety around you. People feel heard. Conversations feel grounded. Trust grows naturally. This is influence rooted in integrity, not image. There may be moments when you feel tempted to rely on your own understanding because it has served you well recently. Pause. When that happens, return to me. Wisdom remains fresh when it stays connected to its source. I am shaping you to lead by example, not assertion, by presence, not pressure, by steadiness, not control. This leadership style will endure. Remember this, my child. Humility preserves what growth produces. Stay grounded, and I will continue to lift you. One simple response to seal this truth, short and sincere. If you choose humility as you grow, type humble. Stay with me. What I am speaking now is meant to settle your thoughts about what lies ahead. You have grown, you have healed, you have become steadier. And yet, when you think about the future, a quiet tension still tries to rise. I see it. I understand it, and I am teaching you how to trust the future without fear. Fear often disguises itself as wisdom. It says it is being careful, being realistic, being prepared. But fear focuses on what could go wrong instead of who walks with you. I am not asking you to ignore responsibility. I am asking you to stop imagining futures where I am absent. You do not need to predict every outcome to walk securely. You need to remain connected. Connection creates stability that planning alone cannot. When you stay close to me, even uncertainty becomes manageable. You have lived through moments you once thought would break you. Yet here you are, still standing, still growing, still hopeful. Let that history inform your confidence. If I carried you through what you feared before, I will carry you through what you cannot yet see. The future is not something you must conquer. It is something you will enter step by step, guided and supported. I do not reveal everything at once, because trust grows through daily reliance, not complete foresight. You may feel pressure to have it all figured out, to know where you are going, to be certain about timing, direction, and outcome. Release that pressure. Certainty is not the same as security. Security comes from relationship. I am not asking you to be fearless. I am asking you to be faithful. Fear may appear, but it does not have to lead. When it rises, return to truth. Remember who I am. Remember what I have promised. You are not late. You are not behind. You are not unprepared. You are becoming ready in the right order. Rushing the future would only take you out of alignment with it. I am also teaching you to let hope be present without conditions. Hope does not require guarantees. It requires trust. Let yourself hope again, not recklessly, but honestly. There will be changes ahead, some expected, some surprising. Change does not mean loss. Often it means expansion. Stay open, stay flexible. I will guide you through transitions with clarity. You are not walking towards something unknown. You are walking towards something prepared. What awaits you has already been considered, timed, and aligned. You do not need to fear stepping into it. Hold this truth close, my child. The future does not threaten you when I am with you in it. Trust grows when you choose presence over projection. One short response now, simple and sincere. If you choose trust over fear, type, I trust ahead. Stay with me until the very end. This is not a closing. It is a commissioning. Everything I have spoken to you through this journey has been preparing you for this moment. You are not standing at uncertainty anymore. You are standing at readiness. What once felt distant is now within reach. What once required survival now invites trust. And what once demanded endurance now calls for movement. You are not the same person who began this journey. Your faith has deepened. Your discernment has sharpened. Your heart has softened without becoming weak. You have learned how to wait, how to listen, how to rest, how to grow, how to remain steady, how to trust without fear. All of this was necessary. Nothing was wasted. Now I say to you, walk forward, not in haste, not in pressure, not in fear. Walk forward with awareness. Walk forward with humility. Walk forward with confidence, anchored in truth. You are not stepping into chaos. You are stepping into alignment. You once asked me to change things around you. I chose first to change things within you, because the version of you standing here now can carry what is coming without losing peace. That is why this journey unfolded the way it did. You may not see every detail yet. You may not have every answer. That is not a problem. You have what matters most: clarity of direction and steadiness of heart. That is enough to take the next step. Do not wait for perfect conditions. Perfect conditions are rare. Move when peace confirms. Move when alignment feels right. Move when love, not fear, is leading. There will be moments ahead where courage is required. Not loud courage, quiet courage. The courage to stay true. The courage to pause when others rush. The courage to trust your discernment even when it sets you apart. You are ready for that. You will also encounter joy. Receive it fully. Do not minimize it. Do not brace for loss in moments of peace. Enjoy what I am giving you now. Gratitude will keep your heart open. I am not sending you forward alone. I am walking with you. I am guiding your steps. I am adjusting what needs to be adjusted. I am protecting what needs to be protected. Trust that. As you walk forward, keep these truths close. Stay connected, not distracted. Stay humble, not hesitant. Stay open, not guarded. Stay faithful, not fearful. You do not need to prove anything. You do not need to rush outcomes. You do not need to compare your path. Your assignment is alignment. Everything else will follow. What I am doing through you will bless others, but it will not cost you your peace. What I am building with you will last, because it is rooted in truth, not pressure. You have learned to listen. Now listen as you move. You have learned to wait. Now wait when needed, but do not delay obedience. You have learned to trust. Now trust as you step forward. This is not the end of growth. It is the beginning of a new way of living, grounded, aware, and free. Walk into it with confidence. Remember this always, my child. You are prepared, you are guided, and you are never alone. One final response, short and clear. If you are ready to walk forward in faith and peace, type, I move. Go now. Walk forward. Everything has been prepared.